What makes cued care so important is what we notice when we delve deeper in it and notice what's going on at a physiological level. It's a release of the feel-good hormones that both mum and baby feel when they're responding in a way that they think baby's cueing for. So we notice that these waves of feel-good hormones are more easily released, and we notice less of the stress hormones being released. What we actually do, what I find helpful, is to avoid the language around stress. We use this concept of a dial. When we're talking about the dial, we notice that when your baby's crying, it means he or she is dialing up. What's going on is their little body's being flooded with stress hormones. But if we think about just this dial as being dialed up, when we respond to our baby in a way that we guess that they may be asking for, we notice then if it works, the dial gets to come down, and we notice even for ourselves that our own dial is able to come down as well. So your dial and your baby's dial will be working together. When they dial up, you'll dial up, and we're looking at when they dial down, that means you can be dialing down as well. This concept we'll hold on to because it will become really important as we move through some more information. And the dial then can be really helpful, and it can actually help you be able to sift through all this information that you will receive from helpful family, health professionals. Some of it may be advice that you hadn't necessarily asked for, but if we see that your dial is the filter of all this information, in that when you hear something, if you feel, okay, it makes a bit of sense to me, then you may take it on board and try it. And if you notice that it dials your baby up, then it's not for you. Your baby's telling you that that's not working for them. But if you notice that it dials them down and it works, perfect. If you hear some information and you already sense inside that dials me up just thinking about trying that on my baby, then that's your guide to think that's perhaps not for us, not now, maybe not ever, but we can keep searching and listening for other pieces of advices that may help us better. What's important is to know that it takes time to get to know your little one. And so when we're responding and we're talking about this cued care, it really actually is a guessing game. And all parents out there are winging it. No one knows exactly what their baby's cueing for, and how one family interprets a baby's cue, the next family might interpret that cue completely different, and both families are right. So it will take time to guess, and you will get it wrong sometimes, and that's okay. You can kind of draw the analogy to riding a bicycle, in fact, because when you're riding a bike, you're never fully in balance. You're always kind of off balance, back on track, off balance, getting back on track. And that's what you'll come to find this parenting journey is. You'll work out what's working, be able to respond to the cues and fall into some patterns, but your little one will be changing all the time. So you'll be rediscovering new things and then getting back into sync again.